This is Julianne Condia, host of Rewritten. Thank you so much for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Your feelings are valid. You have every right to feel whatever emotion you want. Hello, welcome to Choose to Rise. I'm so grateful that you've decided to push play today because today we have a very special topic to talk about. I know I say that a lot, but this one is so relevant to our times right now. A lot of people are feeling a lot of feelings right now with all of the stuff that's going on. We're getting to the end of summer where schools are starting to open up, and the question is, should they, would they, will they, what do I do, what do I not do? There's a lot of really high emotions going on in this world right now with all of the craziness that's happening. Do we travel? Do we not travel? Do we wear a mask? Do we not wear a mask? Do all the things. People's emotions are everywhere. And I want you to know, and I want to give yourself permission to feel the feelings. Whatever your position is, whatever your feelings are, they're okay. They're right. And I would love for us to not have to worry about feeling like it's not okay or it's not right to feel the feelings. If you want to believe that wearing a mask 24/7 is the right thing, you're right. If you you're worried and you want to keep your kids home from school, do homeschooling, you're right. If you are afraid of going out in public and you would rather stay home, you're right. You get to believe and understand that you are right. And that's okay. We can all be right. It's kind of in that situation of like, if your kids sometimes are fighting over something, like, yes, this person shouldn't have done something and neither should have this person. You're both right. We don't have to fight about it anymore. And this whole, like, that's a small scale thing, right? But like when we really think about this bigger issue, I would hope and pray that we can really get to a point where we can learn to agree to disagree, or that we can respectfully agree to disagree. And we don't have to necessarily push our thoughts and feelings on other people, but understand that your emotions and feelings are okay to feel and to be honored and valued. And my emotions and what my thoughts and feelings are okay to be honored and valued. We can easily get caught up in our emotions as we're feeling them. And a lot of people are dealing with a lot of emotions right now, like I said. And so I really want to help you identify what you're feeling, how you can express it, where you can move through things, and how you can better cope with the challenging situations that are happening in our world right now. So, fun fact, right? There's 3,000 words for emotions in the English language. 3,000 emotion words in the English language. That's a lot, right? And we oftentimes feel like we have to minimize them down, or we have to not feel them in order to be okay in a society around us. But I want to tell you today, it's okay to feel those feelings. And it's just like the quote at the beginning said, your feelings are valid. You have the right to feel them. You can feel whatever emotion you want. But I'd also say if you're being overly dramatic about them, exaggerating them, or you're trying to like make them into a huge deal, or if you're swinging to the other far side where you're trying to minimize them completely, both are unhealthy. Okay, I would love for you to feel the feelings, know what you're experiencing, what emotion you are in, so you can move through it and move past it. We are meant to feel the emotions, but not live in the emotions. So when school-aged kids are taught about emotions for 20 to 30 minutes a week, their social behavior and social performance improves. Did you know that? So if we can really work on our own, like as adults, if we can work on our own emotional intelligence, if we can work on our own working through things and becoming problem solvers of our emotions, we will be able to work through stress and work through physical aggression, work through all the things that we tend to just use to compensate for our emotions. Some people overeat, some people drink heavily, some people turn to substance abuse, some people are verbally abusive, some people lash out at others. Like wherever the emotion, it's really just emotional intelligence and learning how to deal with them yourself. So I want to give you some tips today for success. I want you to, one, allow yourself to feel. Sometimes, especially as an Enneagram 3 myself, I don't feel my emotions as much. I'm like a 3 right in the middle of the Enneagram triad. Like I'm right in the heart triad. So technically in my nature, I feel things deeply. All right. But as a 3, I'm a fixer. I'm a doer. I'm a problem solver. So immediately I take my emotion from my heart and I move it straight to my head so that I can fix it, because that's what I want to do. So this tip right here, as I work through my Enneagram coach, and I've done some own research on my own and figuring this out for myself, is that I need to allow myself to feel it, because when I try to fix it right away and push it aside, it doesn't necessarily go away. It doesn't solve the problem. And sometimes there are a lot of societal pressures that encourage us to shut down our emotions, and they're often expressed through statements of like, big girls don't cry, or man up, cowboy up, girl, right? Like, you get past it, move past it. And these outdated ideas are super harmful, not helpful at all. So everyone has emotions. They're part of the human experience. And you have every single right to feel them, regardless of what gender you are, what sexual orientation you are, what ethnicity you are, what race, political affiliation, or religion. Every single human being has a right to feel their emotions. So know that 100%. You should feel your emotions. Number 2, don't ignore how you're feeling. Most of us have heard this, like bottling up feeling things. This is what I would do. I would push them aside without addressing it. I would just go to the solution right away. Then they build up strength inside of us. And then at some point I just feel like I'm going to explode, or like I just hit my breaking point and that just, right? This may be happening to you too. But it's not always the appropriate way to process my emotions at the very moment that I'm feeling them. But it may be something that I just need to, and it's been something that I've been doing, is more processing them as I go. So I sit in them longer. I sit and think about, how am I feeling? What is causing me to feel this? Why am I feeling it this way? Is there something specific I need to address? I do this by sitting and meditating. I do this by journaling. I do this by talking through with a trusted friend. And that's actually tip number 3, is talk it out. Find someone you trust that you could talk to. Find someone that you can trust, that you can share your feelings with, and that you might find people that are eager to share but similar experiences they've had, or times they felt the way you're feeling. And this can be super helpful in knowing that you're not alone. But if you really are only interested in having someone to listen, then it's okay to tell them that, right? Like, I just need you to listen right now as I kind of express these things, and we can talk about it in a little bit. But like, I just need you to listen right now. I'm not looking for a solution. I just need to get it out. It's okay to say that with people. Number 4, build your emotional vocabulary. When I said earlier, there's 3,000 words that come to emotions. And when we are asked about our feelings, people will usually use words like bad, sad, mad, good, fine, really like the basics, right? Super vague things. But when at the root of good, bad, sad, mad, or fine are many more words that better describe how we're feeling. Try building your emotional vocabulary by writing down as many feeling words as you can, and really pinpoint what it specifically is. Like, are you really mad, or are you frustrated? Are you really mad, or are you disappointed? Like, what are the things that you can really get down to the deep root of the cause, and then really work through it on a faster note that way, instead of just blanket stating it. The next tip I have for you is to journal, right? Try journaling each night. Write down 3 feelings that you've had over the course of the day, or as you do them. It doesn't need to be like a Dear Diary kind of situation. It can literally just be bullet points on a piece of paper. But really, writing out affirmations is something that I try to work on. If I'm just needing to like brain dump, sometimes I'll do a voice note on my phone. That's a type of journaling. Or I'll write it all out, my thoughts and feelings, on a piece of paper, or type it out in a Word document on a computer. Whatever it might be, just getting it out of you and putting it down on paper so that you can read it later from a different point of view. When you're out of that complete emotional state, and you can really analyze it from a good perspective. The next one is consider the strength of your feelings. Now, by thinking about how intense your emotions are, you may realize that your thoughts, that thought you were feeling, you could have better been described by a different word, right? But for instance, so like maybe sometimes a person says that they are stressed when they're really experiencing something less severe, like maybe annoyed, or instead of alternatively anger might be a stronger, deeper feeling like betrayal. Like, kind of consider the strength of your feelings. Now, I would also I would sometimes put the feeling words that I have like on a continuum, right? Like, so I might be, I might say that I'm annoyed, might be here, but I'm like really angry over here. Betrayal might go in the middle, like something like rate your words. So like you can the intensity of the emotion gets higher on the scale. If that makes sense. And then you can really help to identify what is the cause and what kind of level you're at and where you're at in the process of dealing with those emotions. The next one I have for you is see a mental health professional if you absolutely need it. And even just like right away, like if you're taking steps to be more in touch with your feelings, there's absolutely zero there's a stigma, but we're working through that, right? There's zero problem. There's zero trouble in dealing with a mental health provider, a counselor, a therapist, a trained coach, someone that is definitely available to you, that is trained to think through things. And maybe this is a trusted friend, but when I started working with Jessica, my Enneagram coach, through these things, she was amazing in the sense that she knows who I am and my Enneagram number. And she's really helped me process things and really sit in my emotions. And as a 3, not take my emotions directly from my heart and take it right to my head. She really made me think and feel the emotion, how I was feeling, identify how someone else might be feeling in the same situation, what the words are that I am looking for as I try to describe this, all those things. And so it really helping, just talking through with someone. I don't even know Jessica, like from face to face, like we've talked on the phone, we've met on a Zoom. She was recommended from a trusted friend, and she's been fabulous. And so if you ever want to know more about Jessica, I'm happy to share. She's amazing. But like just really talking it out, seeing a mental health professional is not a bad thing and should not continue to be something that is stigmatized as a weakness. It's actually a major strength to talk through things with someone else and to share and to work through things. It takes great strength to make strides in your mental health. And so I want to encourage you to do that. I want to encourage you to connect with a therapist, connect with a doctor, connect with a coach, connect with a counselor of some kind, and work through the struggles that you're dealing with. The baggage from our past is always going to be in the bag with us on our journey towards the future, unless we let it go. And so working on, feeling the emotion, working on understanding that you are okay to feel your emotions. We don't need to be robots. We don't need to be, putting things aside. And we also need to be able to respect each other for feeling each other's emotions. So don't try to project them on other people. Don't try to be overly super dramatic about them, but also just own them and feel them so that you can work through them and get to the better and happier feeling on the other side of it. I hope today that one of these tips and strategies has helped you, that you feel encouraged, that helps empower you to be a better version of yourself and to work through things at your absolute best. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you back here again next time.